Porgy and Bess by George Gershwin. The synopsis is presented by Opera Inside, the online opera guide. The roles: Porgy, a crippled beggar. Bess, a young woman and friend of Crown, later of Porgy. Crown, violent lover of Bess. Susanna, faithful wife of fisherman Robbins. Clara, wife of fisherman Jake. Sporting life, drug dealer from New York. Charleston in the 20s. The Catfish Row was abandoned by the whites. Now poor black people live in the rundown houses. In one house, couples are dancing and Jasbo Brown sits at the piano. Next to the dance floor is Clara, the wife of the fisherman Jake. She sings a lullaby to her little son. The men are in the street playing craps. Clara's kid is still restless, and Jake is trying to calm the kid down. That's where Porgy arrives. He's a cripple who can't walk. He moves with the help of a small cart pulled by a goat. Somebody announces that Crown's coming soon. When Porgy inquires if Bess is with Crown, he's teased as to whether he loves her. The brutal Crown appears, accompanied by Bess. People do not like her. They think she's a whore. Porgy is rolling the dice and conjuring his fortune. Crown interferes with the dice game. He is drunk and provokes the players. When he accuses Robbins of cheating, the two of them get into a scuffle, in which he stabs Robbins with a cotton hook. Crown flees, leaving Bess behind. Soon the police will turn up, so everyone disappears into their homes. Only Bess finds no shelter. No one will take her in. The drug dealer Sporting Life shows Bess some happy dust and offers to take her to New York, but Bess refuses. A door opens and Porgy scares away Sporting Life. Gratefully, Bess enters his miserable apartment. The next morning, Robin's body is on the bed at his wife's house. The mourners are gathered around the deathbed and donate for the funeral. When Porgy and Bess appear, people react hostile to the murderer's girlfriend. A white detective bursts into the group. He looks for witnesses and approaches the mourners roughly. Since everyone claims to have seen nothing, he takes Peter into custody at random. After they leave, Susanna mourns the loss of her husband. The undertaker appears. The money is barely enough for the funeral. When the body is gone, Bess pitches a consoling spiritual. The next day in the Catfish Row, the fishermen are repairing their nets. Jake wants to take the boat into the fish banks despite the rough weather. He wants to earn enough money to enable his son to attend a good school later. Porgy's happy. He lives with Bess and praises his free life as a beggar. A shyster lawyer appears. He asks Bess to divorce her for $1. Porgy's willing to pay for it, though Bess was never married. As a buzzard flies by, Porgy's mood darkens briefly because he takes the bird as a bad omen. Sporting Life has come back to get Bess, but she sends him away. It is Sunday and people decide to go to the island for a picnic. Porgy cannot go because of his handicap. Bess wants to stay with him. Porgy persuades her to go along to find some diversion. The two confess their love for each other and Bess joins the excursion company. On Kittywash Island, everybody is having a good time. When they return to the ship in the evening, Bess surprisingly meets Crown, who is hiding on the island. With a mixture of violence and persuasion, he pulls her into the bush. The boat leaves the island without Bess. The next day Jake goes to sea again and Peter has been released from prison in the meantime. From Porgy's house you can hear feverish cries of Bess. She returns sick after 2 days. Susanna goes to her to pray for her health, which is cheaper than calling the doctor. Soon Bess is getting better. Porgy knows she saw Crown. She tells him Crown's coming for her after the summer. Bess wants to stay with Porgy and asks him to protect her from Crown. Clara is nervous because the sea is choppy. A storm is coming, and hurricane bells are ringing. Everyone is gathered at Serena's house and praying for the fisherman to return home safely. There is a knock at the door. The superstitious fishermen believe it's death. But it's not death, it's Crown who's coming for Bess. He mocks the fishermen gathered in fear. He scornfully pushes Porgy away, who has protectively stood before Bess. Suddenly Clara sees in the distance how Jake's boat capsizes in the storm. She asks Bess to look for her child and runs to the boats. No one has the courage to help her. Only Crown is going to take her out to sea. It is morning and the storm has now passed. The fishermen have gathered in Catfish Row. They mourn Clara, Jake and others who lost their lives in the storm. Crown hasn't shown up, but Sporting Life is sure he is still alive. Night falls and Bess has Clara's child in her arms. Crown sneaks into her house. Porgy has ambushed him and stabs him. He triumphantly shows Bess Crown's dead body and throws it in the square. The next morning the detective shows up. He goes to Porgy and asks him to identify the body. Porgy's upset. He cannot face Crown. He refuses and is taken away. Porgy has left and Bess is desperate. Sporting Life offers her to escort him to New York. When she refuses, he urges her to take drugs. Bess, who has been addicted once before, falls back into drugs and leaves the place with him without a will. When Porgy returns from remand a week later, the fishermen welcome the happy beggar. He brought presents for everyone and told them that he had refused to look Crown in the face. When he asks for Bess, everyone is anxious. Maria advises him to forget about Bess. Porgy's desperation grows. They tell him about her fate. Porgy does not want to give her up. He packs his few belongings and heads for New York.